Oh, my music's gone off. Good morning, everybody. It's the Happy Highlander. Had a great night's sleep. I think I slept for 9 hours. I got up in the middle of the night for a wee, of course. But yeah, had a great night's sleep at the head of the loch. This is my view. Square sausage. I didn't bring bread. I bought bread, but I left it at the farmhouse. So I've got some of these. Bread. So I need to toast them up a wee bit. Anyway, look at my setup. Not bad, eh? It's very cosy, but everything has to come out. But this is the basic layout, I suppose, ish. In this corner here, this is where we're going to have an L-shaped sofa. Quite a big one. I think it'll come out 5 feet along this wall here, where I've got my chairs and my table, and then it'll be full length across the back there. And yeah, so it kind of come in line with the stove. So what I did, I spent some time lifting the stove off the floor. I just made a temporary platform, because the flue the flue pipe was sticking up like a periscope. So I had to either chop some down or raise that. And raising that was the best option, because if you imagine, this is where my kitchen's going to be, all along here. Yeah, this is going to be a breakfast bar, so this has been a really cool dry run, because when I'm going to eat my dinner and my breakfast, I'm going to put that chair there, and that's my view. So that's the way it's going to be. I'm going to have like a breakfast bar, so I can sit proper and have my dinner, you see. And so oops, I'm trying to get these square sausage out because they're going a bit burnt. Well, not burnt as such, but they'll be a bit dry, you know what I mean? So I might have to put a nice runny egg or two on top of them. Right, so this is van life, bus life, tank life. I really like it. I really like it. See, when everybody says that sense of freedom you get, they weren't joking, because it's brilliant. It really is cool in the game. Yeah, so like I say, that's going to be the height of the stove. Well, the stove may come a wee bit higher, just depending on how high I'm going to have my actual worktop. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to brick up around here. I know it sounds a bit bonkers, but I know how to stabilise it. There'll be threaded bar in the floor, those bricks with wee holes in, and I'll slot it over. Plus, I'll put some ties. I'll put a tight bar in there, and I'll put ties across every course of brick. Then this rail, I'm going to cut that off because it serves no purpose. I think it's only decorative. If I was to put that cloth on there, well, I wouldn't have a tank anymore because it'd be on fire. And yeah, so what I shall do is make that the exact same height as my worktop, cut this off, but then I'm going to put some nice, on the top of the brick wall, I'm going to put some nice marble, a nice slab of marble there and there, you see, so it's all one. At least that's the plan. Right, I've just got a message off my daughter. My daughter is doing really well on the TikTok and the YouTube. She just bought a micro camper. Well, she bought a wee van and she's turned it into a micro camper. And she's called Hike with Lease, or Hikes with Lease, something like that. Yeah, and she's getting like 60-odd thousand views and all that. I'm really proud of her. Yeah, she sent me a video just before. It's probably about an update on the video she sent me earlier at 6 this morning, where she's doing the Wainwrights in England, and I think she's done nearly 60 now. Anyway, so she's got up this morning to start this Wainwright, and it was just really, really, really misty. And then she sent me this video, you see it, about 6:30, whatever, and she'd broken through the cloud, and you could see, the tops of hills and stuff, and she knew all the names of them because she's dead clever. Anyway, check her out. That's my daughter. She's beautiful. Come on, I'll show you the outside. Oh, sexy tank, eh? Lovely. See if any of you know what that is. Yep, I'll show you my, oh, this is the Raptor paint. I don't know if I've showed you. I've already put the Raptor paint on here. Really good stuff. Can you see? I don't know if this will pick it up, but it's quite textured. And I put the same on here. But I used a sponge roller for that. So I'm going to just key that back again. And then when I put this colour on the rest of the tank, I'll put it on with a sprayer so you get a nice textured sort of finish. You can see, look, I've done to that line. It's really, really mucky. I'm sure it's got something to do with all the dust coming out of those airplanes that leave the giant lines in the sky. You never know. That thing was about 2 foot higher and it looked really, really silly. So it did. So that's why I could either chop a piece, my 18-inch piece, or just raise it. And I just raised it, that's 6 inches, which gives it just a good height. So when I build the roof rack, the roof rack's going to have like a double rail, so it'll look like a large sort of basket because I've got some strong sort of mesh, you know, it's got square holes in it, and that'll, so there'll be a bottom rail, a top rail, and the mesh in between. So what she'll do is with the chimney, I'm having to point completely away from it so that you can see me pointing at it. That's weird. Anyway. Right, so what I'm going to do is build the cage over the top of it as well. So the cage will take the hit, if you know what I mean. So that'll be cool, won't it? Yeah, I've done millions and millions of filling. Excuse me. Absolutely tons. That's like a second fill, you know, because I filled it all tight in the holes. All the holes are completely filled. And in some places I've used that liquid metal. So that's like a second fill, and you might be able to see I had that orange filler primer on, but I had to go down to England and it was all patchy all over the place with the orange filler primer, so I just used the black rattle can, you know, just to make it blend in a wee bit more, and it didn't look quite as tacky. I had to give up on the boot, and I'll show you why. So I'm building a new one. I've got everything to make a new one. Yeah, look at state of that. You know, there's no coming back from that, is there? And then watch, see this corner? Can you see that? Alright, it's goosed there. Absolutely goosed. So that's coming off, and I'm going to make a new one. And you know, I was watching that bus off with Josie last night, and she what did she do? She swapped her bus with another lassie who's got a smashing YouTube channel, who's got a smaller bus. But both of them were saying, both of these vans, Josie's got one exactly the same as mine, but they've got barn doors on the back. So that window's coming out all together. I've got the steel to replace it, and I'm actually thinking of making some barn doors up there, because then I can lie in my bed, I can fling my barn doors open. I'm not entirely sure. But maybe a hatch that opens that way, you know, and then I can have it open even when it's raining. So it opens much the same as the boot. I'm making up as I go along, can you tell? Yeah, there's my bed. Hey. Look at that. Actually, that's where my set it. But that was about 6 years ago at Bridge Cottage. I've washed it since. Yeah, you can see. Well, I've done lots of filler. This side was particularly bad, you see. So all this has to be flattened down again, and then all this from that line, I'll key it, and then we'll respray it that lovely green colour. It'll look nice, won't it? Thing is, as well, what I'm thinking is that I'll see what it looks like, because there's 1 or 2 dings in the bodywork, especially on this side. You might be able to see it. Yeah, there's a ding in that door, you see, and I can't get it out. I don't want to fill it because it's a bit too deep, and there's another ding along there, you see. So what I'm thinking, if anything like that was to sort of like be a bit too offensive, I don't like the look of it, I'll use black Raptor paint, the same as the bottom, and I'll do it all camo. I'll do it camouflage. I think that'll look cool, that, because it'll take your eye away from any sort of, you know, any rubbish bits. So there you go. I'm loving it. I should be at work today, but I can't go to work because I've sprained my wrist. It's really, really sore. And the job I have to do is fencing. And the only way to do this fencing is to use a maul and smack it in with this not broken, but it's very blooming sore. So anyway, and there was a little bit of can't be botheredness setting this morning because I'm enjoying this so much. But we worked hard all last week, and I worked all day Sunday doing that, and I worked all day Monday doing more in there, and other sort of like logistics work for things for the jobs I'm doing. So, but yeah, there's no rush, is there? What is this life with so much care? There is no time to stop and stare. Last night's liquid refreshment. Do you know, nearly every night I buy myself 4 beers. And nearly every night I open a 4th one and don't flip and drink it. It's a waste. There you go. Right, hope you enjoyed my little tour. My wee situation. Like I say, everything in here is coming out. But it's really cool because, I'll show you this. I've got that set up. Aye. So that's one of my 300 amp hour batteries. Of course, that's my inverter. And when I go back to the farmhouse, I just charge that up with a battery charger. And then that lasts for ages because I just use it for that, excuse me, that lamp. And now last week, that lamp was on every single night from, you know, say 6:30 till I went to my bed at, say, 10:30. Every single night. When I went back to the apartment, the farmhouse, put it on charge, it still had 2/3 of a charge. It was still 2/3 full. And also, I've been using it all the time to charge my Wii devices. There's a lot of stuff you have to charge up, isn't there? There's a tablet, there's your phone, there's your Bluetooth speaker, there's your power banks. What else is there? Oh yeah, my Wi-Fi. I'll tell you what, let me show you this. I highly recommend this. If anybody's going to get a bus and do van life, bus life, I'll just switch. I'll switch it off and then I'll get it. I'll show you. I really highly recommend this. Oh, there we go. So that there cost me, what is it now? I think it's £24 a month. And I get full internet with that. Unlimited, la 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 la. And it's smashing. So, but also I know that 3 Mobile is very good around this area. So it's a smashing deal. You know, I was going to get Starlink. I may still get Starlink because this you don't get it in 100% of the areas like you would with Starlink. But it's a flipping good start. It's a lot cheaper. Starlink's about 80 quid a month. Plus you've got to buy all the gubbins. You don't get it for free, whereas you do if you're in a house. But they don't give it you for free if you're in a mobile because they can't come and chap your door if you don't pay the bill. Anyway, so yeah, highly recommend it. I'm not endorsed by 3 or anything. I wish I was because they've got squillions of money and I'm bloody skint perpetually. Anyway, so yeah, have a go at that. Brilliant. Yeah, and I think when it's fully charged, you get about maybe 6 hours from it. And it charges really quickly. And like I say, there's very few places where I don't get internet with it. You know, there's 1 or 2 of my favourite spots that I don't get internet. You know, but you don't get any internet on your phone there either. You know. Anyway, there you go. Right, I think that's it. I'm going to get my breakfast. Look, it's gone bloody cold talking to you lot. Anyway, thanks ever so much for all your comments and that. And if you can, check out my wee lassie, my eldest daughter, Hikes with Lise. And I'll see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you. Bye.